The best thing to do when you're feeling lonely. Yeah, for me, loneliness is one of the worst feelings in the world. Like feeling emptiness, feeling not belonging, feeling of not feeling good enough. All these emotions related to the loneliness and what to do with this. Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing about how I deal with loneliness and what helps me to get out of this situation. My name is Chantal and I empower women to step into their highest potential, related to self-love, dating and relating, finding their life purpose and living their dream lives. Well, thank you for watching again for another video. Today I'm going to be sharing what the best thing is to do when you're feeling lonely. And there are a lot of feelings of loneliness. In essence, the feeling of loneliness is all the same, but there are different grades of feeling lonely. And today I want to be sharing a little bit more about the feeling of loneliness, especially when you're in a relationship or when you're single. The feeling of loneliness, of not feeling good enough, not belonging, having the feeling of emptiness and doing everything by yourself. So this feeling of loneliness has made me depressed for many years. I've been in inner darkness since a young age, and I was actually always looking for love in general and belonging. And I've shared in other videos as well, it's like my upbringing was a tough one. There was not much love in our house because there was mostly survival motives. There was mostly like anger and aggression, and I was bullied at school. I was fighting with my brothers. My father was physically and mentally abusive. My mother was a caretaker of mostly my father, and there was not much time for me. And since I was, I think, 6 years old, and I fell in love for the first time on a much older boy who was just cute to me, I created the idea that love was supposed to be given by a partner. And because of that and my search for love, love in general became an obsession for me. Finding a partner became an obsession. And this created more and more misery. This created like inner sadness, and especially because I was still single, I really didn't know like how to deal with that. And it was actually till I was 30 years old that for the first time in my life I felt what unconditional love was. And not because love hasn't been given to me in the past, but because of my childhood, I had such a protective wall around me that nothing could enter me to hurt me, but therefore also nothing could enter me to make me feel good. And when I was 30, it was actually during an ayahuasca ceremony weekend where actually my heart cracked open for the first time. And that was the moment that I realized that probably my mother has been giving me a lot of love, especially in the years when everything went much better, but I wasn't capable of receiving it. And due to that fact, like love was an obsession. However, I was so close that I wasn't able to receive it. So this loneliness and this deep darkness and this deep longing for a partner became such a huge thing in my life that I think most of my depression was related to that. And this loneliness it's unbearable sometimes. And I think like it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or if you're single, everyone experiences loneliness in a certain way sometimes. It's something we all come across with because we walk this path alone and yet at the same time with all people around us. So the thing is like, and I hear this from a lot of people that I'm supporting right now and I'm coaching, is like, what is wrong with me? I'm still single. Why is everyone in a loving relationship and I'm not? Why am I not capable of finding someone? And everyone, like, and including me, I had that in the past as well. It's like, what is wrong with me? So I did all the healing steps in able to be ready to find that partner, because I thought somewhere I wasn't ready or I wasn't healed enough to be able to receive. And yet what I found out is, like, I've done 6 years of non-stop work around myself, from retreat to retreat, from ayahuasca ceremony, hypnosis, you name it. And still I was single and I didn't know what to do. And the loneliness was still somewhere inside me. However, this journey has brought me to a place of a lot of self-love. And they say you have to be happy by yourself before you're able to receive love. But I don't fully agree with that. And the reason for that is that I believe that we can manifest someone in our lives that walks the path next to us and go through the journey of healing together with us. And therefore I also want to say, like, the loneliness is something that sometimes comes across, and for some people this is a deeper process than for others. But my tips would be to really find a way to accept the loneliness, because I think that was one of my biggest teachings, is that when I felt lonely, I was fighting it. I didn't want to feel lonely. I didn't, because I was judging myself, especially in my healing journey, to say, like, I should be happy by myself and I should be in a good place by myself. However, I wasn't capable of being, because I was judging the feeling of longing for someone. So the acceptance would be definitely the first step. And by doing that, there are different tools to go in acceptance. I can share about that in another video, but the acceptance is really about allowing all your emotions, all your feelings, and all your thoughts to be there. It's really a part of embracing where you are in that moment, even if you don't like it. And this is a really tough process, but there are different ways to get there. And yeah, I've seen this with other people that I've been helping in the last few weeks, and it's the acceptance creates space. And then the second step would be forgiveness. Forgiveness towards yourself. Forgiveness that you are judging yourself. Forgiveness that you are mean sometimes to yourself and saying that you are not good enough. And that feeling of not good enough isn't pleasant, but it's okay. We're all in a learning process. We're all trying to get happier, become the better version of ourselves. However, we are already the better version of ourselves. When we accept and forgive ourselves for the way we treat ourselves, it's really like it creates an opening. So the third step would be really about gratitude. And I think, related to my depression specifically, gratitude was my biggest transformation. Like, gratitude for what I have, gratitude for what has been, gratitude for who I am. And this begins sometimes with feeling gratitude in a superficial level. And the more you train your brain to have gratitude for things, the more space it creates. And especially when you're feeling lonely, the biggest thing is not to fight it, because everything we give energy, it will grow. So the gratitude is actually the distraction from where you are in this specific moment towards something that you're grateful for. It's like working with the light instead of the dark. And the focus on gratitude is the transformation for happiness. So this doesn't mean that gratitude will change extremely or completely how you feel. But what I say is that really, when you focus on what you're grateful for, then you distract your mind from the things that you're miserable about. And the distraction is actually sometimes even a fight with yourself, because the mind or the ego really likes to be in a place of misery. And as soon as it has misery, it wants more misery. And so the distraction with gratitude is really one of the most important things when you're feeling lonely. Because the feeling of loneliness is something you cannot fight. You cannot fight it. It's a full acceptance is important, and then it's actually focusing on something else. And gratitude gives such a joyful feeling that was my biggest teaching. So acceptance that it's okay to long for someone. It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to feel sad. And now I focus on, wow, I'm grateful for the fact that I have a house that I'm living in, or the food that I'm eating, or for the person I met on the street who smiled to me, or the dog who was so cute today. Like, gratitude can be in the smallest things, even the bee that lands on your hand, or whatever, the butterfly that flies by. Gratitude can be in so many things, and it's a transformation from the brain to focus on something positive. And my biggest thing was to start with, like, at the end of the day, name 3 things you're grateful for. It's really, really empowering to sleep and to go to sleep with a positive mindset. And sometimes it's hard because your mind is like, yeah, but this was shit and that was shit today. But really try to come back to that center and say, like, oh, but I was grateful for this ice cream that I ate, or for the sun that was shining. So this is really my main giveaway. So the fourth one is actually going from gratitude to creating and manifesting your life how you envision it. So what is your dream life about? Including that partner, including that dream job, including that dream house or whatever, or that you're traveling. So from a place of gratitude, you can create a new vibration. And in that place of gratitude, your energy will rise and your vibration will rise. And based on this, you will feel better, but you will also attract more of what you like. So my last suggestion would be to really start or writing or envisioning what your future life will look like. Because all the emotions that we long for are already inside of us. If you think about eating an ice cream right now, and that ice cream is like super delicious, the taste is so good, it gives a smile on your face. You can feel the emotions inside of your body of thinking only of eating that ice cream. And actually the mind wants to think, yeah, but I don't have this ice cream right now. But actually when you go into these feelings of gratitude and pleasure, then you raise your vibration. And from that place you can create the dream life that you have in mind. And yeah, so initially would be acceptance. Acceptance of where you are. It's okay. Even though you don't like it, it's okay. Fully accept it and embrace it and love yourself. The second one would be forgiveness. Forgiveness towards yourself, forgiveness maybe to someone else of where you are, and to really, be nice to yourself. Forgive that you've not been nice to yourself, that you've been judging yourself. The third one would be definitely gratitude. That's my biggest teacher. And from a place of gratitude, you can have the fourth one to start envisioning your dream life. Because based on gratitude and envisioning what you want in your life, you will raise your vibration and you will feel a lot better. I hope this teaching was a good one for you today. Check out my other videos on YouTube. Subscribe on my channel, and if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, follow and like and share if you agree with this message. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you another time. With love.